Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's up? Yeah, 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 yeah. That's it.
Here on the
Daily Boom,
in a mental retardation center costing
PayPal and Super Chat
will be built is to identify all of the causes of mental retardation and to develop more effective techniques of treatment and rehabilitation. The ability to prevent mental retardation is our ultimate goal. To reach this point,
YouTube, Discord, participants,
and the federal government have all come a long, long way.
Now, many of these
Flat Earthers,
so severely retarded that it would be difficult, if not impossible, to take care of them at home. So all we can offer them is good care and sympathetic understanding. But there are other
Flat Earther,
in these institutions who really need not be there. Those are the ones that are classed as trainable or educable, and you'll hear more about them later.
Are we resorting to comedy hour now? Obviously.
Gravity. La La Land is reserved for special people that double speak, that say open is closed, closed is open.
La La Land. We are in La La Land.
Gravity.
Obviously. La La Land. La La Land. La La Land. We are in La La Land.
Gravity. Gravity. Gravity.
Obviously.
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom!
I'm on it. I'm on it. Sorry, I'm late. I'm on it. I couldn't find the buttons that I was gonna press. Buttons and more buttons. There you go. Boom! Shout out to everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's begin with Squeaky Earth before we forget. That's the most important. Uh-oh. That wasn't part of the Squeaky Earth. There you go. We gotta leave it. Stays looking at us. Looking at us. Te quedaron bien. Voy a bregar aquí. Thank you very much, everybody. It is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. 80 Fahrenheit in Florida, US of NA. Of USNA. Thank you very much for coming in. Shout out to everyone. Happy to be back in this sunny, beautiful day in Largo, Florida. oh, Jose, you doxing yourself. Largo, Florida. Find me. If you hear this, you gotta go every corner, in every block, and just pay attention when the show is live. When you hear Squeaky Earth, you will find me. Wait, I gotta point this that way. There you go. So we can see the shout out to the level. Shout out to the level. Very important level. Shout out to Squeaky Earth and the frogs. Mob it. There you go. They speak on this one. Move it. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Shout out to Real Cygnus, Citizen 9, Jomongus, Gary Weibenga, Zep Tepi, Martin, Extra J, Farmer's Boy, Ben the Light, and Charlie Welsh. Free the frogs, they say. They live on. If I free them, where will they go? Where will they go? Will they have somewhere to go outside this domed, squeaky earth? I don't know. That's a tricky one. Tickle, 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 tickle. I tickle the frogs. Please hit the like button under this video. I only see 6 thumbs up. That is very weak. Ratio must be magnificent. Ratio must be viewers per likes equally strong. So please, I'll just lay back here while you hit the like. Well, I might refresh because I might have it's like not updating on my end over here. Oh shit, 5 likes, 7 likes. Okay, we getting better. Come on, 7 likes really for per 25. There you go, that's doing better. 9. Okay. You hit that. ¡Hey, Ley Gonza! Shout out. Tío Eve, estoy aquí con papi, Papol en Puerto Rico. Te mandamos saludos. ¡Wow! Saludo a Papol y a Luis Andrés y a todo el mundo por allá. That's my nephew. He's with my brother in Puerto Rico. Shout out to them. Saludos. Disfruten. Disfruta tu ratito, man. Después vienes para acá en un futuro cercano y nos visitas y das la vuelta para acá. Está bueno, está bueno. That's good. Okay, everybody hit the thumbs up. That's very important. And then, give me money. If you give me money, your life will be a lot happier than it is right now. So if you want your life to be, if you want to accomplish all your dreams, if you want all your dreams to come true, you give me all the money you have. So open your wallets, get your credit cards out, and you hit me up on the Super Chat or PayPal. PayPal link is pinned in the YouTube chat box somewhere around here. And the Super Chat is down in the YouTube chat box. Click it, hit me money, and leave a comment. You leave your username, your YouTube username on PayPal, and you say, hey, Jose, here, shout out, you know, a little bit of support, helping the channel out on all the good stuff. We will open the Discord server, the Daily Boom, the voice chat, for guests to come over and join us. So if you are not part of the Discord server, Daily Boom, all you have to do is click on the description box under this video and join there. I am copying a new link for the Discord and post it in the live chat box. And that way you can, if you are not part of it, you can click on it there and you will be, your voice will be heard. Vote for Pedro, but PP for Jose, says Hapax Legos. What's up? Extra J is in the house. Dude, there was 2 things. There's a poll in the YouTube chat box. Please vote. The moon is, and there are 4 options. Please choose the option that fits you best and vote. We will round it up at the end of the show. Or maybe we'll create a new poll. Who knows? And also, there's in the community tab on my channel. Go on my channel, go to the community, and there is a question there that we would like to read if there's any interesting answers. If you go to my channel, on the options, go to community, and please comment your favorite content to watch on YouTube and why. comment your favorite content to watch in YouTube and why. And we will get to the comments a little later on. We have 2 comments so far. Those 2 comments are very telling. We got Charlie Welch with a comment. He what type of content Charlie likes to watch on YouTube is stuff without Gary. There you go. That's very, very straightforward. And Mr. Malort commented, Flat Earth debunkers. I don't have to think too hard. Flat Earth debunkers. Mr. Malort, please elaborate. Come on now. And a big shout out to Farmer's Boy and Nestle Wipes who are in the house. What's up, guys?
Hey. How you doing?
Hello. Excellent. Thank you.
Good. Oh,
Hello, Jose.
I better leave a comment on that, and nobody will be surprised when I put.
Yeah, please, Farmers.
There we go.
L.A. Gonza with a super chat. Shout out to L.A. Gonza who hit the super chat. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. There's a couple things that is not adding up. It's not showing the viewer count on YouTube. I mean, on the stream for some crazy reason. And it's not showing the participants on Discord. It will. L.A. Gonza with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for giving me money. Luis Andres. The Earth is a sphere, ask NASA. That is L.A. Gonza. And my Streamlabs froze on my computer, so hopefully the stream is going in smooth. We shall see.
It still seems to be going out, so there's that. That's the main thing.
It is. It might be an odd. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to share stuff. I mean, it looks good, but I just double clicked and popped up in. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, very weird. Anyways, okay, we're gonna have the screen share up for some crazy, weird images. We're not gonna have the participants on screen today. We're not gonna have the viewer count on YouTube today. Hey, whatever. It is what it is. I think I fixed the participants. That is a good thing. Remember, as Farmer's Boy is just doing in this very moment, he is leaving a comment on the community tab.
Yep.
Very good.
One word. That's all it needs.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks. Shout out to
Thanks for the memory.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. Chike is here. What's up, Chike?
Hello. Not much.
Hello. Did you hit that super chat, Chike?
Like beat him, you mean?
Like hit it.
No, I haven't.
Ex-coffee addict is telling you to hit the super chat. I don't know. That's what he's saying. The moon looked like a perfect half wheel of cheddar cheese Saturday night. Ben Delay say, did anybody witness the moon as a half wheel of cheddar cheese on Saturday night?
No. I haven't seen the moon for quite some time because clouds.
What did the clouds have to do with the moon?
Well, they get in the way, don't they? They do over here.
Come on, that's an excuse. Do you believe that excuse?
That's the sort of weather we've got at the moment, I'm afraid.
I'm not buying it, man.
My phone keeps telling me, oh, you should be able to see the space station. No, not a chance.
I don't know, man. That sounds weak.
Well, sorry. It's something we're quite good at over here in the UK is 100% cloud cover. We get it quite a lot, particularly this time of year.
All right.
So Not seen the moon for a bit, I have to say.
Sorry, I'm tiny bit distracted. I'm just trying to sort something out in here, but what we are on, we're here. We got it. We got it going.
Yes, Charlie, I do still believe in clouds.
You sheeple.
I know.
Shit. Believing in
Oh,
clouds.
it's clouds. That's so mainstream, isn't it? Oh,
What kind of silliness is that?
I know. I know.
Yeah, they pump them through television also, you know, in the forecast and stuff like that. They keep saying clouds. Like they're real.
Okay.
Oh, God, humongous. Do you have to? Christ.
All right. I'm sharing my screen share. You guys want to? I've just got an image right now, but I got 2 little clips that I found earlier today. Kind of funny. I want to
Oh,
share
cool.
those with you. See what you think. Yeah, we might not have a notification. If I get any other super chat, I might not have a notification just because it didn't log in properly before I went live, and it's just not gonna happen now. But it's all right. I mean, it's 90% cool. If you believe that the Earth is a blue marble, you should support Jose by super chatting, says Coffee Addict. Hey, thank you very much. Okay, we have a proof that the Earth is flat. You guys want to see it?
Yes, I'd love to be a
That'll be
first.
exciting times, right?
Yeah.
You guys watching my screen share? Okay, let me.
Yep.
Gary is here too. What's up, man? I'm gonna share a video clip. It's like a minute long or less than a minute, and it's proof. Oh no, this one I got. That's the second one. This one is titled. Oh, that's not it.
Oh, that one.
This one, flat Earth model, proof, representation, globe Earth deception, real truth, honest Eric Dubay. Okay, let's see.
That'd be a first time for everything.
Let's see what this guy is gonna say.
देखो ये बिल्कुल अर्थ की तरह लग रहा है ये एंटार्क्टिका ये पूरा एंटार्क्टिका ये आइस वॉल्स
I understand it.
कॉमन नॉर्थ पोल ये सॉरी दिस इज सेंट्रल नॉर्थ पोल लाइक माउंट मेरू
The more you listen, the more you understand him.
Antarctica that is the Arctica that is Arctic North Pole South Pole this is all water bodies and this is that this is all 70% water body and this is the what do you call it land. Why does this resemble the flat earth? I don't know. It's the land 30% maybe it's like 70% water. Antarctica, this all Antarctica and that's Arctica. Why? I don't know, like things resemble and I'm going mad at the same time intellectual. I need to test it.
It's exciting stuff, right? Cutting edge stuff.
Yeah. Right. Proof? Question mark. No.
Yeah,
Is it his dinner? Is it his dinner? What is it?
it looks like noodle in curry or something.
Like, I don't know, like,
just-
stripes, like intestines or something.
No, it's noodles.
Noodle.
No, it's basically a plate of noodles in some sort of brown manky sauce, and he thinks that's a model of the flat Earth.
Does it seems like it seems legit? I mean, it's like a hard evidence right there.
It's evidence of his next meal, quite possibly. Yes. As to the shape of the Earth, not so much. I just love he puts at the end. Honest Eric Dubay? Question mark. No, not to my knowledge has he ever been honest.
We got people agreeing here, right? We got Charlie Welch is good with this. Zeb Tepe, happy. Extra J, excited. Real Cygnus. I mean, Jeans Mine, Steve Wilson. Everybody is on board with this.
Yeah, bollocks to it. What the hell? Okay, yeah, it's legit. That's a
Real
model.
proof.
That's a model of the Earth.
if you take all the question marks on this title card, it will make it 100% proof legit, like solid. You put a point periods in all of them and take the question marks. See, very good stuff. Now we got another one. We got another clip. This clip is kind of like I wouldn't like this guy to be here because he's this in the right hand side is kind of the important things he say. But we gotta break it down because this got a lot of information and you guys gonna be excited about it. All right, let's see. Here we go.
This is what I think the Earth looks like when I say it's flat. A flat surface with a dome above us. This was also shown in SpongeBob predictive programming.
Oh, that's the first one. That's SpongeBob predictive programming.
Oh dear.
That's something, man. It's been in mainstream media. Okay, here we go.
Sandy Cheeks is the only mammal. She lives under a dome with the tree of life. Also, planes have to correspond with the Earth plane, therefore flying straight and corresponding with the ground, which is flat. The clouds also correspond with the ground, which is flat. You ever got on an airplane and you rode above the clouds and the clouds was flat? Yeah, the clouds are corresponding with the Earth plane. Also, not to mention when Kong threw this stick at the dome.
There you go. That's another one. Breakthrough. Remember when Kong in the movie threw a stick at the dome?
And the clouds was flat. Yeah, the clouds are corresponding with the Earth plane. Also, not to mention when Kong threw this stick at the dome. So we live on flat land with a dome above us. Flat land, dome above. Oh, and also there's water outside of the firmament. Flat land, dome above us. Outside of the dome is the ocean of heaven. Above that is the heaven of heavens. Stars are water.
Wait, stars are water. That's what I said.
Wow.
Stars are water.
There you go. Stars are water. No more. No further questions, Your Honor. What is the more exciting proofs? Was it SpongeBob or was it Kong? Or stars are water, dome? Just please give me your thoughts.
I like SpongeBob myself. I like that reference.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is evidence of programming by the government. Yep.
Isn't that exciting that we're learning something new today? The SpongeBob proved the flat Earth and the dome, and also Kong.
Yeah, which King Kong was that? I don't remember seeing that one.
I think the Godzilla versus Kong. I think.
Oh, yeah, I've not watched that one. Yeah. I don't recall him throwing a dirty great big something rather than hitting a dome.
Breakthrough shit.
Wait, in this movie, who's the hero?
They both join at the end. The antagonist is Mecha Godzilla, a mechanical Godzilla.
Nice.
Oh yes, Japanese do like that sort of thing, don't they?
Yeah.
It's SpongeBob SquarePants carries it for me. Everything else was just bloody ludicrous. But yeah,
the SpongeBob reference makes sense. Yeah.
Even though
Stingray, are you sold on these proofs of flat Earth with SpongeBob?
Well, I just came in to defend the noodle guy because I think no, I'm serious though, because a model is an understanding and an explanation. That's what a model is, and it can be used for predictions. And that's the first time I've seen anybody start talking about a flat Earth model. So, well done to him.
With a bowl of noodles.
Points, right? Points on his favor.
Well, yeah, the second you start to test anything surrounding that, other than what the hell it's going to look like after 12 hours, you're not going to get anywhere with it, really. But at least it's an attempt.
You got some points to him. I told him. I mean, it's a physical evidence. It's a physical model.
Well, according to his model, we should see Antarctica from the Everest.
Which bit's Everest?
We gotta give it the benefit of the doubt.
The highest point on the noodles.
the same bit to scale. I don't think. I mean, you gotta give it the benefit of the doubt. This is a rough draft. I think. Stingray, you with me with that?
I don't think
no,
this
it's
guy.
not to scale.
Not the
I don't think this guy is flat earther at all.
Come on, give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's not
I
flat
mean,
earther.
to be fair to the guy, he is using his noodle, at least.
Oh no! I can't believe you went there. Oh. Oh dear.
Well, now the guy who went on with the SpongeBob and saying the dome, there's a dome above us, and when he got it, everything clicked when Kong threw the javelin, the sphere, and broke the dome. Everything clicked. I say, all right, so the Earth is like this, and then above it is water, and then above it is the real sky, like the real sky or whatever the wording he used, and then the stars are water. He came up with all of that due to the SpongeBob and Kong, association. I think this guy's brain is magnificent.
I mean, King Kong, that was a fantastic documentary.
I personally like the end of. Is it the first Men in Black documentary where it shows that the Earth is in and that galaxy is in fact inside a marble. Someone's just playing marbles with us. So I say that's reality.
Oh,
That's
yes.
a beautiful documentary. Yes, indeed.
That was the first one, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it works like some kind of a, how do you say, not a pendulum, like a gyro type of thing, right? So we got the galaxy inside, the whole galaxy inside the marble, and it doesn't matter how much you shake or move the marble. It's like it like rotates separated from the galaxy. The galaxy stays still inside it, so you wouldn't feel any extra movements if they're just playing with the marbles outside and the galaxy inside it.
Well, not just inside the marble is magic, okay? Just like inside the dome, it's all just magic.
I mean, we can do that. We can kind of assign behaviors, special behaviors that don't have to be testable or repeatable because it's magic. So you can come up with how that works. Yeah, it's magic. I don't have to come up.
I've never actually seen SpongeBob, but do they comment a lot on the on what the Earth is then?
No. However, I've never seen an entire episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. I've seen bits.
The big, a lot of references is The Simpsons, and there's this episode when Homer Simpson is riding the bicycle inside the dome, like those daredevil things. They ride a motorcycle inside a big sphere and stuff, something like that. And then you got the Simpsons have thousands of references of conspiracies and bullshit.
The wall of death, as they call it over here.
Yeah, the wall of death.
Inside the big cylinder, and when you get fast enough, you just go round and round and round without falling off.
Sideways and upside down or whatever.
Because centrifugal force is a thing.
Don't be involved in fictitious forces now, farmers.
Oh, hey, there's nothing wrong with fictitious forces. It's what's holding you down in your chair. A fictitious force.
Does it confuse you, Stingray? When fictitious force is mentioned, and if you pay attention, it's like, yeah, fictitious. If you don't see it as one fictitious force, and you separate the word fictitious and then force, to me, it doesn't make sense. It's like fake.
No, I'm with you on that one, and that's why I think if you ask a physicist, they call it an emergent force, not a fictitious one. It emerges from something else and is not directly a force, but it certainly, I wouldn't describe it as it's fiction. That's not what they're saying.
Is that the derivative of fiction, the fictitious?
Well, I think what they're saying is it's a fictitious force, which it is, but the effect that is felt is incredibly real. But the effect is different to the cause. So you've got a fictitious cause, but the effect is real. So it's easier just to say it's an emergent force.
Now, because it's already known as fictitious force, it's hard to not convince, but to make the denials see that it doesn't have to do with fiction or is fake. It's hard to see them because they're gonna hang on to that word, just fictitious.
I mean, the easiest thing to ask is, can I, if centrifugal force is fictitious, can it cause a very real effect on something? And the answer is yes. Great. So what are we arguing about? We're only on about the result, not the cause, the result.
I'm gonna go quickly to community tab. There's a question on my channel, community tab, and a few people commented that are already here, and I'll ask you guys the same question. What is your favorite content to watch on YouTube and why? If you watch any content on YouTube, maybe you don't watch like specific videos on YouTube and stuff. We got Extra J, that's the last comment. Extra J likes watching car stuff, space stuff, music, video games, flat earth, and he cannot decide on a single favorite. You just depends and go with the flow, Extra J, depend on the day, depend on the mood.
Hi. Yeah, pretty much. I watch a little bit of everything.
That's good. Farmers Boy, you for real? Do you watch something on YouTube, like go down the rabbit hole and binge watch a bunch of clips and videos and stuff?
Do you know, I tend to do that with music, because it'll have suggestions or whatever, and you'll click and think, oh yeah, I'll watch this video, and then I have suggestions on the side, and you think, oh yeah, I haven't heard that for a while, or oh, what's that? And before you know it, you're a dozen videos away from where you started. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, but my favourite would be tanks because of the tanks. But yeah, I watch compilations of car crashes. Yeah, obviously space stuff. If I get the chance, oh, SpaceX has got another launch. Oh, I'll watch that. Oh, there's a spacewalk. I'll watch a bit of that. But yeah, tanks.
Chike, how about you, man?
Yeah, I watch just about everything. I don't know.
What will a playlist for the day look for you? Stuff to watch on YouTube. If you had a day off and you wanted to just watch YouTube.
Well, I wait for notification for my subscriptions. In the meanwhile, I can watch, I don't know, they send me some battle I never heard of on World War One, then I'll watch it. Or, I don't know, whatever comes by, and I think it's worth watching.
How about you, Stingray?
Believe it or not, if depends what mood I'm in. So if I'm in just an entertainment mood, I don't know why, but I don't mind watching either two things. One is kind of like the UK audit scene where they go and film police and try and elicit a response and things like that. And then my other guilty pleasure is like Benefits Britain, for where there's documentaries on people that just scrounge off the state.
Okay, that's interesting. But the auditors, did you watch from America, like content from here, auditors from here?
No, because you guys
Piss you
just
off
shoot
too
people on sight for no reason. So it's like
they really piss you off, right? Nestle wipes. What is your jam to watch on YouTube?
I have a fascination with people that build stuff. I watch a lot of Adam Savage's channel. I've kind of got into a lot of building channels that do like strip plank boats and stuff. You know, building boats and yachts and and aquariums. Those are my two main things.
But when you watch building stuff, professionally or like redneck and improv shit?
No, it's a mixture, I suppose. It's like the boat building stuff I watch is basically just people that have been sailing for years and they decide to build their own sailboat. Adam Savage is professional. Well, obviously, he's done a lot of movie work and stuff. So, yeah.
That's cool. Tinkerfield, you got a guilty pleasure like Stingray called it to watch on YouTube? Oh, Tinkerfield. You know what? You know what I've been hooked up lately on watching confessions, FBI murder confessions. People, you know, they present the case. The case is this woman. She was reported missing 2 days ago. Nobody have seen her, and we got video clips, video cameras. We got witnesses, and we already got a suspect. And this is it. And they put him in the room, and the whole interrogations. There is yeah, it's awesome to watch this stuff. It's like a morbid pleasure type of thing. Me watching them lie through their teeth and making shit up until they like almost always confess to the crimes, like detail. It's you had Mike in Tinkerfield. Sort out your mic and then no mute after you do that. Yeah, after they confess or all that, some of them, you know, they're like break my heart, and it's sad when you think about, you know, the lives they taken and all the shit. It is weird, morbid, and crazy shit. But I don't know, I like listening and watching to that stuff.
There's an American one, Audit the Audit, I think it's called, and they basically look at cases where the police have pulled somebody over, and it's all sort of the police's own sort of cam footage, and they're basically looking at how the police have behaved, and some of the stuff they have on there is just like, really, you gave these idiots a badge and a gun?
Yeah, like planting drugs or, you know.
And they sort of grade them at the end, and the police get an F, and whoever they arrested gets an A plus, you know. But some of the stuff is. I mean, I just watched one this afternoon. They'd sent 3 cars out, so that's basically like 6 cops, and these 2 little old ladies who were feeding these cats that are running wild, and they were feeding the cats so they could trap them.
Crazy.
But the mayor had said, no, if you see them on that land again, go and arrest them. So 3 squad cars turned up to arrest these 2 pensioners. You know, I mean, they must have been in their 70s or 80s. These certainly at least one of them, and slaps handcuffs on her. You know, and it's like, really? They're feeding the cats so they can trap them. They got traps in their cars, you know, so they could then take them to the vets and get them neutered. Blah blah blah. No, he won't having none of it. If you see him again, do them for trespassing. Arrest them. And you just think, you silly buggers, really?
That is something.
But and then of course you get the extreme ones where, you know, they'll pull somebody over, they'll stop their car, pull them over, and before you know it, they've dragged them out of the car, and they're, you know, the taser's out or they're pepper spraying them, and you know, fists are flying, like the one that's just been shown recently.
All right, I gotta give a shout out to Jomongus. He hit me up with a tenner on PayPal. Jomongus says, I've noticed a few things while you've been gone. Leaky and SE have gotten dumber. And without Glovers, the conversation on flat earth channels quickly devolves into weed or religion. Good to hear everyone, even farmers. Shout out to Jomongus. Thank you very much, brother, for your support.
Oh, bless. Even me.
Even you.
And I know
Gotti,
he's, you know,
Gotti,
number
there?
one in
You
my
wanna-
fan club.
You want to get a mic check, Gotti? I don't know if you're too busy at work or something. We got a few mentions. Jeans Mine, The Do, gaming or guitaring, both guilty pleasures. That's cool. I have watched The Do. Yeah, it's cool. Also, Zep Tepi have gotten recommendations on interrogation videos. That's weird. Extra J cat videos. Crackle666 talking about Venus. I don't know if he likes all this stuff. Is the planet of love, wealth, and things, all things nice. Has recently entered the home of Pisces. for a fleeting visit to bestow her love. I don't know. He's into astrology or some shit like that to crack on. Charlie Wells like naked yoga. Hell yeah. But also kitten videos.
What? Watching or doing?
Oh,
I'm guessing watching.
That's good stuff. Tinkerfield, you were hot micing. I don't know if you sorted out your phone. If you're listening, I didn't mean to like cut you up, but rejoin and try your mic again.
Yeah, I think he's trying to eat your mic or something. Not sure.
Yeah, he was probably eating something out of his pocket, and he grabbed the cable and started showing on it. Extra, what you got, man? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the Noodle Earth video. You know, I don't think that guy's for real. Here's my thought on this. He didn't use space question marks.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes. Good point.
Yeah, he didn't fuck up the. Yeah, the way he writes. The orthography, he didn't fuck it up. Is that it? Orthography? What is is that a word? Orthography?
I'm not entirely convinced that is a real orthography. I don't think it is.
Sure.
Yeah, I got my doubts on that one.
I don't know. Let me Google that word. Orthography.
Orthography. I don't. It sounds very similar to a lot of others.
Orthography. Okay. ORTHO, orthography. It is the conventional spelling system of a language, a spoken language which has as yet not sanctioned orthography.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Also related to orthographic projection, which is something the flat earthers really don't like. The one they tend to call Muppet vision.
What does orthography mean in reading? Orthographic reading skills refer to the ability to identify patterns of specific letters as words, eventually leading to word recognition. Or developing the skills, reading becomes an automatic process. I don't know. It's kind of a word, right? It's kind of grammar. I know it's grammar. You know, the grammar. He didn't get the grammar right, but for some reason I say orthography. Grammar deals with how we structure the language, and it is applied to both speech and writing. Orthography, on the other hand, addresses the rules of a language writing system or script. Orthography deals, listen, with spelling and punctuation because these elements are only relevant when the language is written. So for some mysterious reason, I was not 100% right, but I was right in certain ways. Orthography.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. I've learned something new today.
Patting myself in the back, made up a word, and it's kind of the tool for the devil is real. Autocracy. What is autocracy? Is that a word?
Autocracy, yes, that is a word.
I never heard that.
That's basically if the country's run by a dictator. So when you know World War II, Germany under Hitler, that was pretty much an autocracy. Saddam Hussein, that was an autocracy. When power resigns with one person, ultimately.
I gotta go to the little boys' room. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna mute myself. You guys got the floor. Boom.
Yeah, I'm not with
right,
it.
we're all just running amok now.
Woo! Yeah. Okay. I hate it when he does this.
I want to leave England.
Why?
I don't know. It's just pissing me off now.
Oh.
My government is as corrupt as they come. I've had enough.
Oh God, yes. I mean, they should all be put against the wall and shot. I mean, a whole bloody lot of them.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could have a mandate for the next political party that a independent oversight committee not made up of full-time career politicians has oversight whenever a public poll on a subject surpasses, let's say, 500,000, which means, and they have the power to do anything, including call a general election, which means then the people in power have to actually answer to the people then. And without that, it's just pissing me off. And then the other thing is, well, anyway, yeah, no, I'm just pissed off at the moment.
Okay. Well, chin up, old bean. Could be worse. You could be French.
You know what? No, do you know what I'd really like is if they made the government ministers, if they could be held accountable to a criminal degree on some of the decisions that have been made financially. I really do. I wish they could do that rather than just get a slap on the wrist for wasting £40 billion. That's criminal.
Yes, our government has proven itself over the last 2 or 3 years to be expert in just spanking money away and just. They might as well have just set light to it. I mean, they have wasted just an obscene amount of money and made themselves and their buddies all very, very rich. Thank you very much.
You guys are starting to sound like conspiracy theorists.
No, it's just where the money's ended up, I'm afraid, particularly with the whole thing we went through over the last couple of years and companies that had nothing to do with PPE suddenly getting contracts worth millions upon millions of pounds from the Tory government because they knew somebody. And records have not been kept.
Of course, we've been warning about that for years. We were called nuts.
No, you haven't.
No,
you
haven't.
No, you haven't. You clearly haven't the faintest idea what I'm on about then.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
No, Gary, this isn't a conspiracy. This is an open. This is a politician deciding on government contracts to their friends to the tune of. Are you ready? And this is how much wasted in software enterprise development and integration with our National Health Service. 3 times the annual budget of NASA wasted in a few months.
Yeah, they conspired together, right? That's a conspiracy.
No, it's not a conspiracy as you term it.
I reckon.
Yes, it is. It's conspiracy was groups of people who conspire to an end. They're going towards a particular end, and they conspire on how to do it. That's what conspiracy is, and that's exactly what they did. And they stole all our money from us.
Can't you say that to conspire with someone is to reach a common goal, whether it be good or not? In which case, everything involving more than one person is a conspiracy, and that's not what this is. This is criminal neglect.
Yes, that's what we have always meant by our conspiracy. That people were conspiring to do some bad stuff. Yeah, sure, people conspire to do good, but the conspiracy people, like me, have been talking about how they do things to achieve an end, and they conspire together, and that end is not necessarily good, like you're seeing and you're talking about. That's just like people conspire. Conspiracies are people conspiring together, or even on themselves, by themselves. One person can conspire to do something. So that's all we talk about when we talk about conspiracies is these groups of people who seem to be moving towards the same goals, and the goals are not good for us, except for in their view.
The thing that pisses me off most is probably not what I would class as a conspiracy. The PPE that Fan has talked about probably falls in your definition of a conspiracy, but mine is where our National Health Service needed a way to track infection rates, and thus an app was developed. That app used public and open APIs provided by Apple and Google. Apple and Google having implemented them almost immediately at scale. So the last thing that needed to be done is implementation or an integration piece with the NHS. And if you'd have come to me and said, how much is this going to cost? I've done many integrations before. I'd have said, probably about £100,000, get it done in a few weeks with a moderate-sized team. They spent 40 billion on it.
Yeah, and my point is those
ridiculous.
groups like Apple and Google have been putting their programs to do these things together for years, and that's what we've been pointing out. And now you're just seeing the results. You're seeing how they can do it, almost instantly.
Oh dear.
That's exactly what we've been telling everybody for years, and they acted like we were nuts, and these kind of things can't happen. They would never do this stuff, but they do. And it all comes down ultimately to money. They make money doing it. And they don't give a shit about anything else. Can't you just admit it?
Yeah, I can admit it. Yes, you are a nutter. Yeah.
No, I mean, you yourself are just complaining about all the things they do. But these big corporations, multinational corporations, all they care is bottom line dollars. They don't care if it's ethical or not. They don't care. And they have their systems all put together. It's going in towards this AI stuff, which will be the ultimate control.
Here's the thing, Gary. When I said Apple and Google implemented it, they put massive amounts of resource and teams onto it when the pandemic became a thing. And within a couple of months, Google being the first, they released APIs on their mobile operating system to have a universal tracking platform and shared secure data so that people could use it to track the pandemic. Shortly after, Apple followed, having their teams completed it and making it open to iOS developers. None of that they charged anybody for. They did not make any money from it whatsoever. It is the thing that our government then put out a contract to get a team to build and use those open APIs.
I guarantee you they make money off it. Because it helps them build up their systems. They get encouraged to do it even more so. They're building the ultimate police system that you will lose all your freedoms eventually. You will only be allowed to do what they allow you to do. You can already see their handwriting on the wall. Just admit it. The day will come where you won't be able to travel freely wherever you want. You'll be restricted. It'll all come back down to how many carbon credits you have, your lifestyle, because they're literally tracking everything.
All right, stop 2 seconds. I'm agreeing with you. I hate to tell you this, or I hate to tell everybody else this, but I don't know whether everybody else knows. There's a trial in Oxford that was passed by their council to divide Oxford inner city county into regions, and then to trial annual credits for cross-region travel within busy times, to actually as a mechanism to cut pollution. And it was voted in that they are going to have this trial.
Yes, I knew about that.
Yeah, it's a bit terrible.
Yes, but that's coming to everywhere. It's Agenda 21. It's that treaty that was brought out of Rio de Janeiro back when Bush president. Of course, the U.S. never signed it, but they started implementing everything to bring it about. So they do a roundabout, whether they get it do it legally or actually sign a treaty, didn't matter. And now Agenda 2030 is just the next part of that goal. So it's what they want to achieve by 2030. And you just saw the group, World Economic Forum. Those are all the guys that are implementing all this stuff worldwide with their programs. Pretty soon, you won't be able to get a loan unless you have all your social credits in line with what they think is right. You can see that already happening.
Well, there's actually an interesting. Our Bank of England has an interesting article that went up about a month and a half ago. No, it was expanded upon a month and a half ago, but it's been there for about 2 years, I think, and it's the first. It's the first foray into this central bank digital currency, whereby contracts were put out for secure wallets to store it. So it's a cryptocurrency issued by a central bank. But here's the interesting thing: they wanted it. They wanted it programmable, so it isn't just a unique token that can be stored in a hardware wallet. They wanted a blockchain system that would only allow it to be spent on a category.
Yes.
So in other words, but here's the interesting thing, though, Gary, and this is why sometimes it might be good, sometimes it might be bad. If our social care system only has certain amounts. Has a lot of people on social care that are 100% supported by the system, yet their subsidies for childcare are getting spent on their own alcohol. Wouldn't it be beneficial to say that the money that the government gives you to support your family is invalid to spend on alcohol? I'd have to argue, yes, that's a valid thing.
Yes, but then what if they extend that out? Because most of them are vegetarians nowadays and don't like the idea of people eating meat. So I wonder if in the future now you can't eat meat except for maybe 2 days a year, they'll let you have a little portion of a hamburger or something, and you won't be able to spend your money on that. And they can program it so you can't spend it on that.
Then you
so
have to start a business, mail order meat, Gary. There you go.
Well, I'm just saying, you could see how this goes that direction. Because ultimately, you got power-hungry people who want to control everybody else. And there's no getting around that. Yes, can it be used for good? Yes, what you just said would be a good idea. But it just always goes too far.
But there's another thing as well, though, Gary, is if shares get issued and you get dividends from shares and people amount a mass of money, the reason why a lot of people take that money out of the economy, it's sat in holding, it's sat as intangible assets or something like that. In a recession, you could have currency that's issued beyond a date requiring to be spent. Now, it isn't necessarily it expires or something, but it needs to be spent in a certain category, which means you could force people with excessive money to actually put it back into the system. So it could be good.
I got a question for both of you. First for Gary. Gary, little realistic. I just been listening for a minute, but what do you think you, Gary Waibenga, can do about it, about the situation, or any of us can do about it? And Stingray, the same question. Can you do something about the situation, or any of us can do anything about the situation? Go ahead, Gary, you first.
Nothing, because they've already got the situation under control where they're going to get their ultimate means. They're going to do what they want, and you can't stop it. It's going that direction, and we can all see it. The handwriting's on the wall. They openly tell us what they want to do. They don't even hide it.
So you cannot do anything about it, nor either of us,
nope.
Like Shy
or
Stingray.
Short of going to actual war with governments, but who's going to do that? Are you? I'm not.
No, not me. Okay, Stingray. What?
Yeah, I'm not either. But I mean,
can you do
ultimately, you're not going to stop them.
So I hate to say this because I'm not a monarchist, but we have an authority higher than a government.
We as a collective.
We as in the United Kingdom, Great Britain, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, and its territories have a higher power than our current government. And it is just a single person now. It's a king. And that person has the right within their power to stop government.
But that person is one of them. He's one of the worst.
What, the great King Charles?
Yes. Those guys are horrible. They're all part of that World Economic Forum. They're all part of the future world government, or whatever you want to call it. They're all part of it, and he's one of the worst. The guy is a dictator. Now, I will agree with you that an ultimate dictator would be the best government if he was benevolent and actually did what was good and right rather than what he thought was good and right. But that's not going to happen. You can just look at
I got a disclaimer to throw the comments and opinions of the participants in this Discord are not necessarily my opinions or my channel's opinions. And remember, this is entertainment. This has nothing to do with reality. So taking that in consideration, you guys can carry on talking about it.
Are you scared of them?
I'm not scared of them. I am aware that YouTube can take my capabilities of doing live streams.
Right, but I was quite clear that
that's why I
violence
say
is
that
not
the
going to
disclaimer. This is
happen.
Entertainment and have no bearings on reality. This is just fun and parody related topic, Charlie. Go ahead.
I agree that Gary has no connection to reality. That I can agree on.
Yeah. Just this disclaimer. Maybe somebody would that he does, you know.
Well, except for they actually talk about all these things. They're quite open with it. It's not even hidden anymore. It used to be, but not anymore.
And that was the comedy sketch of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Stingray, for pulling his legs. Appreciate it.
Well, Stingray actually kind of thinks similar. And so does Farmer's Boy. You guys see what's going on. You just don't like it. Yeah, you guys see what's going on. You just don't, you're afraid to say it because it sounds like a conspiracy person. But it is.
Alex. Stop talking shit.
Well, I've read about Agenda 21. My sister and her husband were two of the biggest dairymen in California. And so they sold their dairy recently because of all the stuff that's coming along environmentally that's going to make it literally impossible for them to operate. So they decided to just get out. They sold everything because they know what's coming. They know this Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. They see the environmental restrictions that are going to make it impossible for them to operate their dairies in the future. My brother got out for the same reason.
It is a conspiracy when a bunch of nutcases are talking about it on YouTube but doing nothing about it.
There's really not much you can do about it because if they control all the legislatures in your state or in the U.S. government or whatever government you live under, there's not much you can do about it. The powers that be have the money and they pay off all the politicians, which is why politicians are corrupt.
You're doing everything we can do, Gary. You're doing everything we can do. Is gossip.
I do. I talk about it.
Wine, bitch, and gossip about it. That's all we can do. That's why I'm just letting you do it because you're the one doing it.
What's your suggestion? Jose?
That you stop talking about it or keep bitching, whining, and complaining about it.
No, you got to talk about it so people know. There's a lot of people
about it.
I talk about.
I don't have to.
I talk about these things to a lot of people, and a lot of people thought I was crazy until they started seeing all the things coming and happening to their own farms, their own dairies, and then they start to realize, oh shit, this is actually happening.
Gary,
guys are going out of business for that very reason.
Gary, once we will realize the shape of the Earth, you will realize you are crazy.
Well, that's your opinion. I think you're crazy.
My
opinion. That doesn't matter. Whether you want to believe in a globe or a flat Earth, it doesn't matter. All these things I'm talking about are happening. It doesn't matter whether it's flat or globe.
You can't shut up, can you?
I don't believe that. We weren't even talking about
a matter of
this conversation.
There's no belief here.
Okay. We were talking nothing to do with globe or flat. It doesn't matter when it comes to how they're ruling the Earth and what their governments are doing and how they're going to make your life miserable in the future.
Bitching, whining, and complaining.
They're already doing it.
Yeah. Making your life really miserable. Tell me, Gary,
if people didn't complain at all, it already would be done. They do have to watch people because they know people are seeing what they're doing.
I hear you.
So they have to be a little careful.
In real time, we all hear you.
They're getting to the point where there's too many people like you, Jose, who don't give a shit.
We all hear you bitching and whining in real time. Why are you saying no?
I didn't say no. I said I am.
Oh, okay.
Did the car industry?
Because if people don't know, they can't do anything about it. They can't act. They can't vote.
Shut up.
Oh, calm down.
Did the car industry shut down when they told them they have to put this filter in the cars? Say, oh, conspiracy. And that's really against you. You know, they want to oppress you. So you will have a catalytic filter in your exhaust. That's really what they want to oppress you.
Chaiki, could you repeat what you started saying? I did not hear what you started saying.
Of course, you will never hear it because you keep talking.
I'm asking you to repeat the beginning. I missed the beginning, which then I don't have any context for anything now that you're saying.
The car industry shut down when they told them they will have to put catalytic converters in the cars.
No.
No,
No,
right.
but guess what industry, what kind of cars are going to be shut down in the future? Here in California, it's already being written into legislation. Pretty soon, only electric. I just bought an electric gas mower, electric mower, because they're outlawing all gas operated like lawnmowers and air blowers that were gas operated and all those kind of things. They're outlawing them. If you go into like Home Depot now, that's pretty much all you can buy is electric ones.
Good
Which, by the
stuff.
way, I did buy one and I like it.
Because those are blowing my ears here.
I have no problem with it. I bought one and I love it. It's quiet and it's very light.
Right.
And but there's a limited amount of electricity already in California. We've had blackouts and stuff like that, and yet they want to implement all this by like 2030. How's that going to happen? What's it got to do with the value of people who own those cars that are gas operated?
Yeah, they'll build a few nuclear.
That's 7 years down. That's 7 years from now.
Yeah, 7 years you can build a lot of power plants.
They're not any in current construction or even in planning that I know of.
You know.
Yeah, they're literally tearing down dams right now on the Klamath River in California and Oregon. Those are power generating dams. They produce electricity. They're tearing them down. They're rewilding it because that's part of their Agenda 2030. Rewilding.
They'll take my gavel blower when I pry it from my cold, dead hands.
We have a river right by me called the San Joaquin River, and they're rewilding it right now. It used to be a big river that had huge flows of salmon. Of course, they dammed it up, and now they're rewilding it. That's why they keep letting all the water out of the dams up above us, because they're trying to rewild them and get the salmon coming back again. Of course, they're all trying to flush out their sewage that they're putting into the rivers in the big cities.
Because
happening.
It was very convenient to you that the salmon's not coming back, but some other people got hurt from it, right?
Sure, I agree. They should have never done it in the first place. I agree. We should have populated in the beginning with that idea of leaving things as much natural as possible, but they didn't. And now to change everything, you're going to disrupt everything so bad that people are going to become poor.
I agree. You should go to work every day by foot.
You know what? It probably would have been a not bad world. It was a nice world back then. I remember growing up in a dairy, and it was simple. The life was simple. And now the dairies are so complicated that it's getting ridiculous. And all this technology costs a shitload of money. So they got to milk that many more cows to pay for the technology to manage their herds. But in the past, they could manage their herds without it, and they did it easily. But they just didn't have as big a herds. Now, a small herd in California where I live would be a couple thousand cows. That would be small. You're talking 10, 15, 20,000 cow dairies now.
So how about we'll restrict the number of children you can have? What do you say? Then we won't need so many cows.
That's even worse.
That's worse. Because you want to repopulate the whole earth, and you want to feed them with the same amount of cows, Gary.
Do you think all the frogs are gay, Gary?
There's less cows now than there were 20 years ago.
Do you think the frogs are gay, Gary?
There's way more milk. Huh?
There's more people.
Do you think the frogs are gay nowadays?
Who knows?
There are gay frogs.
Well, who knows?
I heard that.
I don't pay attention to frogs.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't care about frogs. Do I think chemicals can cause certain things? Probably. We know that, right? We know certain chemicals can cause cancer, right?
But over here, I physically have a lazy eye frog, a mama frog. They have baby frog, so if they're gay, they're still reproducing. You know.
If they're gay, it's only in your imagination because they're puppet frogs. But maybe you think they're real. I don't know. You think?
No, they are real. They live in squeaky earth.
Okay. But anyhow, we know chemicals mess things up. Just like here, you literally can't find any kind of food product anymore in California that doesn't have some percentage of Roundup in it because it's ubiquitous. It's used everywhere. It gets in the drains, gets into the water systems, goes into the ground, goes down to the wells. It's everywhere. And that can disrupt your digestive system, which, by the way, that's kind of commercials we see quite often now is pharmaceuticals for people with digestive problems. Crazy world we live in right now, but things got corrupt because of money. Money corrupts. Power corrupts. And you guys all see it. You
And
just don't like to talk about it every minute.
the more, if I pay attention to those things that I cannot control and do anything about it, I will become as paranoid as you, and I don't want that.
Actually, I can name two things in the dairy industry that have changed, and one that's going to change, and that's hormones. They use the growth hormone RSBT on cows to give more milk per cow, right? It was a growth hormone, but people started finding out because people like me started saying stuff. Even though people in the dairy industry didn't like some of the stuff I said, I got banned off some of the ag channels because I was talking about it. But now you can't buy milk in California anymore that has it in it because they outlawed it because of people complaining. So people can change certain things. And I got a 10,000 cow herd to quit using it before it was banned. Because I told them, I go, look at your production. I go, your production took a jump when you first started. I go, and then it evened back out and went back down to where it was. And now you guys are putting, I mean, this stuff was expensive. They were spending 10,000 or something more a week on just this stuff for their cows, right? Well, I talked him into quitting. His production went down just slightly for about a week and came right back up to where it was without it, when they were using it. So you can talk to people. You can get people to change. But if you stay quiet, nothing will change.
Gary,
If you talk to the people, then the people will talk. Maybe they won't talk, but when people talk back, if you talk to them first, you don't have. Sorry, Nestle, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was going to say, I just want to say to Gary,
they can change.
I just want to say, Gary, like, I don't agree with you on a whole lot of stuff, but what you said there about the hormones, kudos to you. That's a serious problem. And you've done something to try and rectify it.
And you don't have a clue about the reproductive hormones they use because they have kept that quiet. I've brought it up more than once. I bring up the Roundup problem, and I call the creamery, and they freaked out on me because they know it's in the milk. And I drink milk. I drink a lot of milk, but it's like they know it, and they don't want people to ask questions because when people start asking questions, other people find out, and when other people find out, pretty soon they have to change their practices. And I'm waiting for that day to come.
Is that why you're asking questions, waiting for them to change their practices?
Yes.
You want to be famous. You want to be recognized as the guy who changed the game.
If anybody thinks I've started or brought it about, I just want it to happen. That's all. And if enough people start to understand what's going on out there, they start to call and make complaints, and they start boycotting things until they change. And next thing you know, you get companies to change. But
how much Roundup are they finding in the milk?
They wouldn't even say. They don't even test for it. Because I asked them if they tested for it, and they freaked out. And I go, you know it's in everything because people feed Roundup Ready corn, Roundup Ready cottonseed, Roundup Ready this and that and the other thing, Roundup Ready sugar beets. All those things, those different things are Roundup Ready. And even wheat gets Roundup on it sometimes when they want to dry it out before, so they can harvest it, where they got to, because if it's too wet, you can't run it through the harvesters. So they even use it on wheat, even though they tell you they don't, but they do.
Let me a quick comment. I want to leave Mojok ask his question or make his comment. Gary, let's say you bring this to Congress or to front of whatever. You actually get some people to listen to you. They say, you know what, this is my issue and this is my concerns, and I cannot do anything about it, but I want to talk to you about it and see if you want to do something. And you actually present your case, and you actually very articulated and present your case. This is a theoretical situation. Now, these people say, all right, we got all your notes. Thank you very much for bringing your concerns. We're not going to do any decision. I'll do nothing, but we go home. Do you think these people are going to look at your background and search for you? And what would you think they will do with your notes and your concerns when they find out that you are flat earther and you actually think that the earth is flat? Do you think they're going to take you seriously? That's an honest question.
I don't think they care what you believe about the earth. They do. They are concerned with their products and sales. That's what counts, and that's what gets them to change things. Not what you believe about the earth. It's what the product itself is and what's in it.
Wait.
Just like the reproductive hormones. I have mentioned it because I worked with a vet who actually became a part of the dairy this one dairy that I used to work at. The 10,000 one that I got to quit using the RSPT at.
So
And
you actually think that they will take your point seriously after they find out that you think the earth is
I
flat?
talked to him about the reproductive hormones situation, and he said creameries are already talking about banning their uses because it's become ridiculous. It used to be used just a little bit for certain problem cows that weren't coming into heat and getting bred back, because you got to have a cow get pregnant, have a calf to keep producing milk, right? And it used to be just used on problem cows, but then veterinaries, it became like a tool, they called it. And so they started making it a normal practice because it saved them a lot of time and labor. Instead of having to examine each one of these problem cows, they just gave them shots because that took care of the problem for the most part. And so then it went from there to just becoming a standard use, because now you can just program all these cows to get bred on the exact same day by you giving a group of hormone shots in a certain sequence. And so they call it they call it an OV-sync program, but there's a lot of hormones in that, a lot. And now they're talking it. I hear little things here and there about how they're talking about possibly banning their use.
Gary, it carried away a little bit. I just want to understand. They don't care what you think about the earth, the shape of the earth, after all the resources and money they put in to indoctrinate you. It's a globe.
These corporations aren't worried about the globe. I'm in the dairy industry. They don't give one rip about if it's a globe or a flat earth. All they care is bottom line. What can they sell there? How much milk they can produce, and how much they can get for it, and how much they can get for their product.
Yeah, absolutely. I agreed with you, Gary.
And their sales go down. That's what they care about is money. They don't care if I believe the
agreed
earth
with
is
you,
flat.
Gary. I agreed with you. You should address your congressman, not the industry.
I do contact certain food groups, but I keep it anonymous because obviously I work in the industry.
Why would they care? They get more money. They don't care. As long as nobody tell them that's forbidden, they'll keep doing it.
You think I was the only one who complained about the growth hormone? No, I was one. There was many people, and more people were complaining and writing the dairy industry, writing Congress, complaining about it. And the next thing you know, the dairy industry changed their policies on it and they restricted it. You can't use it anymore.
Like I said, you need to make people aware. You need to call your congressman, not to contact the industry. That will lead to nowhere.
I contact people who work with the industries. They're not part of the industries. They're actually part of the food groups that want the stuff gone and done away with. And they do have access to more important people than I will ever have. So it's like, I don't know any congressmen, but some of these do.
The reproductive...
So I bring it up from time to time. I bring it up on these ag sites when I can. And of course, I got banned for saying it, even though I was right. Because I said that there's you have antibiotics in all your milk products. And they said, no, you don't. They test for it. I go, yeah, they test for it, but there's a standard limit where as long as you're not over that limit, they allow it to be sold. If you're under that limit, you can sell it, right? I used to drive a milk truck years and years and years ago, and they literally took a sample out of every tank. I watched them running the samples. As long as the numbers were below a certain level, it was passed, and they pumped it into the big tanks, and they processed it.
Is that level safe?
Legal allowable limit that they allow.
Is that level dangerous?
They don't. Who knows?
The reproductive hormones, those simulate the cow going into heat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they use them to synchronize the heat.
So I know, I understand, but so what is the inherent problem with that? If it's the same chemicals that would appear naturally in the milk when the cow goes into heat,
they simulate the natural one, but they're not the same.
They're not?
No, they're synthetic.
Synthetic doesn't mean anything. If it's chemically the same, it's irrelevant.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Even their conception rates aren't the same with that, but they get better overall amount of cows pregnant because they can mass do it. Whereas if you have to find a cow that's in heat, it's a little more difficult because you got to know how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, if you don't have good guys that are working with your cows, they're going to miss a lot of cows. But when they can just mass use a synthetic one and get a similar result, they can all the ones that the normal guys in the past would have missed, they get pregnant because they can mass do it. The synthetic works, it just doesn't work the same as a natural heat. You'll get a higher conception off a natural heat than you will off the one with the hormones.
What if you just stuck a bull out in the field and let him go and find out which ones are pregnant or in heat, and let him wear himself out?
Yeah, the reason they don't is because they're things like insurance has basically gotten rid of the bulls from herds because they're dangerous. I know numerous people who have gotten severely injured by bulls. I've been close.
Sounds like
bowling. But I've managed to jump over the fence before they got me several times. But I had a friend I rescued. The bull was on top of him. The bull had him on the ground, was bellowing over him, and he was bleeding out the mouth. But I got him away from the bull because I distracted the bull, and he got away. And then I have my brother-in-law got mangled by a bull. My best friend got mangled by a bull. My brother-in-law's dad got mangled by a bull. So they got rid of them. They're just too dangerous.
Well, it sounds like it's a natural thing, though. So you should probably stick with the natural method.
If you went back to natural, it would be the best thing. My brother, when he had his dairy, even though he came from the AI industry, the artificial insemination industry, he went to all natural bulls, and he had higher pregnancy rates in his cows than all these other dairies that use all these different AI methods and hormones. My brother also was at the top of his creamery all the time in milk quality. And we did the same thing because my dad, after my dad had a dairy, and when he died, my brother and I took it over for a while, and we ended up getting blue ribbons at the fair for milk quality. So we did everything natural back then when everybody else was already back then going to all these other methods. So it is a better way. There was a better way. But see, back then they had a lot of dairies, but they were smaller. There were more cows back then because you got less milk per cow. And so people had a lot more. There were a lot more dairies with a lot more cows. But now they do everything by computer, and they feed all kinds of crazy things in the feeds that will increase milk production and all this kind of stuff. And by the way, when we were talking a minute ago about how they do all these tracking systems, I guarantee they learned a lot of their tracking systems through the dairy industry because they've had these tracking systems for years now, and they've honed them down.
I'm quite sure Jose's channel will be shut down then after today.
No, it won't be shut down.
Yeah, they do it.
Now, Jose is a small blip on the whole picture.
Yeah, I already do the disclaimer, and YouTube is listening. They know this is a comedy sketch by Gary.
That's not a cut against you by any means. It's just you and me, all of us here listening to this program right now. We're just a blip on the whole total.
It's a comedy sketch for everybody, but you.
Oh yeah, it can be if you want to think of it that way.
It is.
Well, it gets a little crazy, and sometimes you almost have to just laugh because there's nothing you can really do about it ultimately.
Neither do you. Neither you can do shit but bitch and whine. That's what you've been doing.
What's going to happen is the big corporations, and it's already starting to happen in California, they're going to take control of all the dairies and farms, and they will do whatever they want when that time comes. But they're gradually making the rules for being a farmer or a dairyman so intensively crazy and financially just not possible that more and more dairies are going out every year because they can't do it. They don't have the means. So only the gigantic ones are taking more and more control of the industry, and pretty soon the big corporations will own them when they finally can't do it either. They're taking over all the food production systems. It's just a matter of time now. And it's happening the fastest in California. They're going to limit wells.
I didn't know anything about it. I didn't learn anything, but at least people listen to it and we engage. They engage. You guys engage a little bit. I just kind of like muted to the whole topic, but I'm glad that at least the word is out. So.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'll make it really quick. It's like, okay, these really large farms, they dug their own super deep wells, right? So they had water when everybody else didn't have water, right? Because they've been limiting water in California now for quite a few years. And when in the past, all these farmers had plenty of water. And but now they're talking about limiting their water and putting monitors on their wells, which they probably should, because I don't think it's right either that they can just take unlimited amounts, because it's ruining like small people that live out in the country. Their wells are going dry because these big farms are pumping so much water out of the ground. But my point is that they're going to limit even these big farms soon and how much water they can pump. In fact, it's already happened here, where some of these largest farmers around here have had to put a lot of land out of production because they don't have the water anymore. They can't use all the water that they were pumping out of their wells. They got limited. So it's already happening. All this stuff is happening as we talk. And it's all part of that, ultimately, that Agenda 21.
Why don't they just grow cows in like places that have water, like North Carolina? We got more water than we know what to do with.
That's what it was in the past.
But Gary, isn't that why they're trying to get rid of the dams, though? Because of the lack of water situation. They're trying to make the rivers flow a little better.
They're trying to rewild the rivers. That's which part of me likes, and part of me is like, okay, but you're going to destroy a lot of people's lives because you're going to ruin their farm is now going to become worthless. Because they have the water, now they don't. It's like I live by a little town close by called Firebaugh. And in Firebaugh, there's all kinds of land just sitting idle that used to be farmed. They can't farm it because they don't have water anymore. So that land now is worthless, where in the past it was worth a lot of money. And now it's worthless. So a lot of these guys lost a lot of money. So ultimately, it's the big ones survive the longest, but ultimately they'll be out when the corporations will buy them up for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, but sure, that's why they're getting rid of their dams, though, because there's no access to water for a lot of these farms. And a lot of the rivers.
The reason there's no water is because they're letting all the water go down to the ocean because they're flushing out their rivers. Literally, their sewage in the rivers is getting flushed out by letting this water out. And they have this so-called little tiny fish that's not even a native that they're trying to save. And I think they found only like 2 or 3 last year in all of California. But they're still letting all this water go down because they're called smelt, by the way. And that's why they're letting all this water out. It's like we had all these heavy rains, but I live right by it's called a bypass. And when they have excess water, they let that water just run down the bypass. It's just going to make its way to the ocean. It'll go into a river, then it'll go from there to the ocean. And so it's basically most of that water is gone already. Now, we do have more snow this year than normal, but it's still early in the season. I mean, right now we're about 200% of normal, but that can change in a month. In a month, if we don't get any more rain, we could be down to 100% of. Another month, then it could be down to 50%. It's like, but they don't save the water when they have the chance. So, anyhow, I'm sorry I rattled on and on. I'll stop.
Simon.
But that's why our food prices are going to go up and up and up. We already see that happening.
Do you think if I research flat milk, will I be immune to Coriolis?
Well, you're already immune from Coriolis because the Earth isn't spinning. Thank you for the opening there.
Great segue. I'm a very, very expert in those segue cases.
I'm guessing flat milk doesn't have Roundup in it.
If it rained milk, will the milk come down? Will the milk be spheres? Is the milk a compilation of tiny spheres like water is? Asking for a friend. Milk finds its own level. You know what? Unless it's spoiled milk, right? It will have clumps on it.
It's funny that you should say that because when we grew up, we had a tank. And when the agitator wasn't churning, the milk would all level out flat. Isn't that funny?
But you contradicted yourself when you say level out and then flat. Level and flat.
I said level out. In other words, it was going
Level out.
towards flat as the motion dissipated
yeah.
from the
Yeah.
turning. And so as that motion started to die down, it leveled out to flat.
Let's say that scale, we throw it to
In fact,
20,000 square miles. Do you think will still be flat or just level?
in fact, it would still be level if it was not. If
It
it was
always be
contained in-
level, but not flat.
If it was
Yeah,
contained, if it was contained and undisturbed. But like I drove milk truck for a few years too, and you had to stop the agitators, and you had to wait until everything was still before you took the measurements from the tank, because otherwise the measurements would be inaccurate. You had to wait for it to be flat.
Shout out to Sean Smith. He's been a member for almost a whole year, 11 months. He say, when cows laugh, does milk come out of their nose? For real, man. I never seen a cow when you like just flushing milk out of their nose.
You should have looked at your own text chat. There was a cow blowing milk out its nose.
Well, yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. Good show so far. 28 likes. We can do a little better. And if anybody want to support, Super Chat, PayPal, all the good stuff. I see a cow milking a cow, like with the tiny like hands. I fucked up because the cows don't have hands, right? Hoofs. Is that what you call it? Sorry, my English is not very good looking, so I don't know a lot of these terms.
Yes, hooves.
Hooves. Now, well, because I saw in a movie that the cattle was all killed in an alternate universe. Do you think there's a possibility that all the cattle will not exist in a future? Let's say in 200 years. Do you think there'll be cattle in the world?
Yeah. They've been around for a long time. I'm sure they'll be around for a long time to come yet.
Yeah, cows, dogs, cats, and cockroaches. That's all we'll have.
Rats. Don't forget the rats.
Oh, rats. Yes, of course, rats.
They'll live forever.
Yes. Nature's true survivor, the rat. Very nutritious too.
Why we don't eat those? I mean, they're not bad tasting, supposedly.
Yeah, it's very, very nutritious and lean meat. You just need quite a few of them, I think.
Yeah, plus you have to worry about the diseases they carry too. So.
Not really. I mean, all you do is you cook them.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't want to have rare rat.
But if you grow them in
handling.
farms, they'll
Yeah, just handling them is a problem.
Buy a glove.
I only handle dead ones.
That's even worse.
Only good rat is a dead rat.
Besides, if you were farming them, they wouldn't.
Well, yeah,
They wouldn't be
farming.
near as foul as they are.
They used to farm them over here. They used to farm coypu for their fur. Now they're big rats. Oh, they're big rats. Not native to this country, of course, but
Like capybara sized or not quite?
No, they're smaller. They're smaller than capybaras.
Let's not go in detail with the health.
But they're still rats, you know.
There some idiot introduced them into Ireland, and they're now apparently you can see them in the wild occasionally. I think they were released as pets here.
I heard something about mosquitoes, like a bunch of like generic modified mosquitoes were gonna be let go to kill the mosquitoes, the existing mosquitoes, some shit.
Yeah,
like
they're genetically modified sterile males.
Yeah, I think there was a program in Africa, as far as I'm aware.
That was like United States somewhere. Somewhere.
I think it was done in. Yeah, I think there was a program in Africa as well, from what I recall.
They do it here with flies all the time.
Fruit flies or just flies?
Some kind of fly that live in the Jordan Valley. They release, I don't know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of sterile flies.
Horseflies are evils.
Jose, you got a picture of North Dakota there.
Oh, the mosquito.
Yeah, that's the North Dakota state bird.
They gigantic, eh?
Well, and they seem like they're gigantic. They're all small, but they're huge. I mean, there's
Yeah.
if you just
They're like vampires. Puerto Rico, we used to call them like vampires, like thirsty for blood. They come in out of nowhere. Once they land, they just come in with the poking thing, just coming straight to bite you. They don't stand in there and then bite you. They come in straight with
horseflies. Horseflies take
heart.
Horseflies take off a piece of skin when they go. That's why they hurt.
Oh, those are evil, man. There was a bunch where I used to live back here, and they fucked me up, man. They used to hit me hard.
The one that I hated as a kid were deer flies because they hurt.
Yeah, we call those little bastards yellow flies.
Yeah, the yellow flies, bro. I didn't know what they were. I said, "What the fuck?" One bit me in the arm, in fucking swell for like days, big as swell, like affected big time.
Oh, they kill me when they get you on your, by your toes and by your fingers. They itch like fire.
Yeah, they beat me all over the face, the neck, in the arms, in the fingers, everywhere, man. They are evil.
And they're annoying. Like they hover right behind your head. Like if you're walking, they just stay right out of sight and buzz in behind you trying to find a place to land, and they just overwhelm you by mass.
Yeah. Oh shit! I got a little something in here. I got a little good PayPal hit by Thurs. Thurs is in the house. Support the boom with $23.70, over $23. Shout out to Thurs. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Thank you. Good looking out. How many more days? One more day to January to be over, right? Is 31 days?
Yeah, last day tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be in the little food bank thing. Might do a show in the afternoon when I get home, but might not. But I probably do in the afternoon, even a short one. I'll be more active, like. Indeed. There's a race on the poll on the YouTube chat box, 57 votes, and there's a race between the moon is what the moon is. The moon is cheese, or the moon is, was, and will always be. There's other two options: the moon is fake or the moon is happy. So check on the poll. If you haven't voted, please vote, and let's see who the big winner is. Dude, I did good with that little short video that I uploaded yesterday. My brother and my nephew meeting for the first time after 23 years, man. I was in Puerto Rico, so my nephew, he lives in Texas. And they went to Puerto Rico as a surprise, like 2 or 3 days ago. And then I was sent 2 clips. The first one was funny. I laughed because my mom, when they opened the door, my mom was there. And she put their arms in the hands. Oh, Ebe! She called me Ebe. Ebe is a nickname, Puerto Rican nickname, from Ebelio. Ebelio was a singer in Puerto Rico. When I was a kid, I used to sing his songs. So he moved from Ebelio to Ebe. And she said, "Oh, Ebe!" And she hugged him. And they were laughing in the camera. A few people, they were holding the camera and said, "That's not Ebe, that's Luis, that's Andres." And she like, "Oh, my Ebe, my Ebe." And then they told me like, "Hey, Anna, that's not him. That's your grandson." And then she separated him. Look at him like, "Oh my God!" And she went crazy, crying and hugging. I didn't upload that one, but it's funny. And then when my brother saw him, he was my mom stepped out, like she pointed like, "Hey, over there." He was coming. He was chewing on something, and when he looked at him, like he changed. He put his hat back, and they hug. It was fun times, man. Yeah, for some reason they haven't seen each other. They came in when they were kids. They separated or whatever. And now is the first time they see each other. They talk in the phone sometimes. They send pictures or video talk, but physically being in the same place is the first time in 20 plus years. And I did good. I did almost 2,000 views yesterday.
It certainly had all the feels.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I did good. Yeah, I get like 8 subscribers with it. 1.8 thousand views with that one. Father and son reunited after 23 years.
Not bad going.
Not bad. I love the other one too. My mom, grandma sees his grandson for the first time in 23 years. Yeah, they were funny. Then I called my mom and that, and they're like, "What the hell?" She said, "Like I swear, I opened the door and I thought it was you." And I said, "Like, dude, he's bigger, he's fatter than me, and he's so young looking. But he got a scruff beard, he got the hat, kind of the look. We look very similar too, but he's just thicker, bigger than me." I said, "Yeah, I see. I'm the baby, you know, of the house." So everybody that looks kind of similar to, she thinks it's me. All people, man, all people. 3 million fruit flies.
Yeah.
How do we know this is 3 million fruit flies? Where did this come from, Jake?
Did they count them?
Someone count them.
1, 2,
yeah,
3.
I guess they did it by weight.
Oh, you made me lose my place. 1, 2.
2,740,000. Oh shit! Where was I? Yeah, it's got to be. Surely that must be done by weight or volume or something.
Volume
you know.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the video. Those are cool. They are frozen, so they don't fly.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
They're
that's
not-
an
they don't-
unusual thing about flies. You can take a fly, put it in your freezer in the icebox, and close it, and that fly will freeze. And then you can take it out and warm it up, and it will come back to life. Amazing.
If they're not flying, then they're walks, right?
As opposed to flies. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not flies anymore.
That
They're not
is a
even walks.
great
They're like
point.
fruit cubes or fruit rolls, whatever.
I don't know about that. An airplane's still an airplane if it's not flying through the air.
Yeah, they're easy to. I mean, I used to use a little scale machine and in a factory that I work with tiny magnets, very small. It's like, yeah, we need 350 of those magnets for this order or whatever. Just counting. I say, what the fuck? And they show me like, yeah, just count 10 or whatever. Count 10, put it in this tier 0, and just see how many grams or whatever. You know, see how many grams, and that's 10, and do the math or whatever. And I say, all right, just grab a little chunk, kick. I say, all right, that's whatever, 250, 300. So I had, easy, just count a handful and then keep adding up, multiplying, and by bunches. Now, so if 3 grams is 10 flies, now I need, I don't know, 30 grams for 100 flies or whatever. I don't know. I know the math is wrong, but whatever. It was a fun thing to do.
Well, I remember back in the day when we have paid phones, we didn't use coins like you have here. We used special chips, special coins that go inside. And every time I went to buy some, the guy, like you tell him 20, he grabbed a bunch, he throw them on the table, and he keeps one in his hand in case he missed it.
And he was like right on under that.
Yeah, usually you didn't miss it.
Accurate. That's good. Yeah, once you do that shit for a while, whatever it is, dude, you get accurate like a motherfucker. Man. It's crazy. That factory I liked. It was dealing with a lot of tight, small parts and build, assembling together. It was fun. Man. There's a lot of coordination, like motor skills and coordination with the fingers and the arms and the hands and shit. All right, this died out a little bit. Let's wrap it up. Still early. I'm still not that crazy, starving, hungry, so I think we can go home. Farmer's guy and eat his supper now. Good. Have this cup of tea.
Oh, I definitely need another cup of tea. Yes, good point.
There you go. See, we good. Let's do
it's
it.
That time of night.
Yeah, let's do a round of final thoughts. Stop these. I'll share my camera with the YouTube. Whatever mysterious reasons. I don't like being on camera, but I just like to share my camera with you. There you go. Shout out to everybody that participated today. Let me end the poll here and read the results. The question is, the moon is, there are 4 options. The moon is fake with only 8% of the 58 votes. That's the lowest. The moon is happy with a big 27%. The moon is cheese with a 29%. That's second place. So the moon is cheese, little less than half of the population believe it is. But the moon is, was, and will always be is the big winner with a 34%. So now we know the moon is, was, and will always be. Thank you very much, everybody, for voting. 58 people. Thank you for the 31 thumbs up. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like, hit it now before you leave, or if you're watching this recorded and made it this far, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section, click on all the buttons and the links in the description box. And thank you very much, everybody, to participate in YouTube chat. Thank you, everybody, who participated in the voice chat. We will be moving on to the daily nonsense text chat. You guys can stay as long as you want, but let's get a final thoughts from every one of you before we get out of here, if you want to speak. Chaik, what did we learn today?
Well, I just wanted to comment about the poll. The theory is that the moon wasn't always. We know it is now, that's for sure, but we don't have certainty it will always will be. So that's why I had to choose cheese. Other than that, I think we have quite a good show because Gary showed up, and that heat ups the atmosphere. That's about it.
It's very good, very good. Thank you, brother. Extra J, final thoughts.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a different show there. The farming industry conspiracies. I think there's too many people. Anyway, yeah, don't forget tonight, the next couple nights, look for that comet should be between Polaris and Big Dipper. So
really,
I'm gonna look for that tonight. Hopefully it stays clear.
Very nice. Thank you for letting me know. I had no idea, and I think I got a clear shot to the Polaris area over here in between the trees. So I might take a little look. Thank you for letting me know, brother. Farmer's Boy.
I said the moon was happy. But there you go. And for the record, no, I don't eat haggis, Zebulon. We don't have them around here, so we can't go out and trap them. Yeah, that was something a little bit different. I know of no conspiracies within the farming that my dad was involved in and that my brother was involved in. But then, crops in the field, not really an awful lot you can do with them, and we certainly don't spray stuff on them to dry them out to harvest them. It's just called waiting for it to stop bloody raining. Yeah, so there you go. Thank you very much, Jose. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Big shout out to all the members of the channel for supporting me monthly for a while. I really do appreciate your support. Big shout out today to LA Gonzalez. That was my nephew. He gave me a $5 super chat. And shout out to Jomongus and Thurs. Hit me up on PayPal. Big help to the channel. Thank you so much, guys. Final thoughts, Gary Waibenga. Gary Waibenga brought the hit with the cattle talk. What's that?
Yeah, just because Farmer's Boy didn't spray any of those crops doesn't mean other people don't. And it is a practice. It's just not a big widespread one yet. But it is used when they plant their crops late for some reason, and they need to get them harvested, but the plant itself is still a little too wet to go through the harvesters, and so they'll spray them to dry out the plant, but they'll still harvest the wheat or the oats that come off. So it is a practice, whether he thinks it is or not. And the earth is still flat and motionless.
Thank you, Gary. I got final thoughts from Marcus Dresden. And I quote, "Balanced truth is a moron." Thank you, Marcus. Snesley Wipes, final thoughts.
Yeah, it was interesting, Jose. I mean, I have to agree with Gary on the whole farming practices in the US and stuff, yeah, for his start. But he did mention that initially there's nothing we can do to make changes, but he also argued that he was able to make changes by getting people behind him and connecting with people to make changes to using hormones in cattle and stuff. So I don't know. His communication was a little confusing to me, but yeah, kudos to him for fighting for something that he believes in.
Thank you very much, Nestle. Big shout out to Shike. He gave me a super chat, and the super chat says, boom, I'm going to call those yengs. Shike gave me 15 yengs. I know those are not yengs. What are those, Shike? Educate me.
This is Shekel Hadas. It's Shin and Het, like mixed together. New
Shekel
Shekel.
Hadadi Shekel Het. Close, right? Shekel Hadadi Shekel Het.
Hadash.
Shekel Hadash.
Yes.
Close, right? Thank you for the 15
pretty
Shekel
good.
Hadash, bro. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You guys make it so hard on me, man. Let's go with Ters. Final thoughts. Ters, you been all right, man?
Yeah, I've been fine, mate. I've missed you a lot because I've been busy looking after my mum and stuff like that, and I'm not getting on the computer as much. Got 3 things I want to say. Gary, if you think they're spraying stuff on the crops to dry them, tell me what that stuff is. Because we could make a lot of money out of spraying stuff to dry it really quick. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff takes a lot of time to dry out, you know what I mean? And, if they're spraying shit on the crops to dry it out, let's find out what that is. We could make lots of money out of it. The segment Chike said, Chike said, there's too many people in the world. Yeah, there's 8 billion people. That's why I started my COVID-19 little experiment in my backyard and spread it about the world. Unfortunately, a lot of people found horse medicine and it cured them. You know what I mean? My God, you never know what's going to go on in this world, do you? Anyway, that's my good night sentence anyway. Cheers, man.
Cheers, Ters. Thank you very much. Ade or Aid Bait in the chat says, maybe not, but Big Dick McDick goes into this on his farm in Canada. Shout out to Aid Bait. And Tinker Phil, if you're there for final thoughts, maybe your mic will work now. Thank you very much, everybody. Jose JG out. Squeaky Earth. Happy. Whee!